Hi everyone, my name is Jenny. Most of you guys know me, Jenny Coco, Jennifer. I am here. I've been brainstorming this for a while now, probably for the past week. It's really been on my mind, and I want to share my story with you. So, this is weird that I'm finally doing this, but I am an angel mommy. I am going to start creating videos because I want to share my journey and growth and healing after loss. So, this is my life. This is my life after birth and death. And what I had recently gone through is really intense. So I feel like, it's time for me to share my story. And hopefully, I'm going to keep going weekly with this. And it's just something that's going to be a testament to my children because I lost two babies and I lost them back to back. And I spent the past 2 years pregnant. Out of 24 months, I was pregnant for 17 months, and both my babies didn't make it. So, I think it's time to address this issue, what it's like for women to go through this, traumatic events. It's hard. It was hard losing my daughter. She was my first baby. And then to deal with it twice, it's like a whole new ball game of hurt and pain. So I'm excited to do this. I'm excited to open up and share and tell you guys my story. So it's took a lot of balls. I got my tissues on hand though. So back in 2017. I moved back to New Jersey, where I'm from, after living on the West Coast for quite a while. I linked up with my boyfriend, and we wanted to be together, start a family, and live this cute little, American dream. So I moved back to New Jersey. We moved in together. We did long distance for a good 6 months after we have known each other for it's almost 10 years. We met when I was a teenager. And so I moved back, and then we were together, and we got pregnant with my daughter. So it wasn't like we were not trying, but we really wanted to be parents. So, yeah. So she came along, and we were so excited, just like any kind of first-time parents to be. And especially with this day and age and this digital technology thing that we're all wrapped up in, it's like everybody my age is having a baby right now. Everybody is a family. Everybody has a family started. It's, it's the age we're at. I'm 30 years old. It's like what, this is what I'm supposed to do now. So I had a great pregnancy. It was very healthy. I took good care of myself. I had great prenatal care. And she was due January 4th. So our first Christmas of me living back in New Jersey and home was a little bit stressful. We were in the middle of a move. We were staying with my mom at the time. And I just was being, Nazi pregnant mother, where I wanted everything perfect. I needed her nursery done, all this stuff, and just unnecessary stress that I think all women do to each other, do to themselves. It's just this stress, we want everything to be perfect for when our baby arrives. When really the baby, they only need love. They just need good parents and love. all the other stuff is just extra. Everybody goes all out with nurseries and stuff, and baby like sleeps in your bed or next to your bed. Nurseries really aren't even necessary. But whatever. So Archie, my puppy. So it was 6 days before her due date. It was 2 days after Christmas. I was really sick that week. It's like the middle of winter, and I wasn't feeling good, and I went to the doctor. I told them how I was feeling. They put me on medicine, this and that. I just didn't really think anything much of anything. I just wanted to feel better, and I knew I was at the end of my pregnancy, and I was waiting for my daughter Rayna to be here. So I woke up one day, ate my breakfast, went back to sleep, and woke up again, and I was doing just little things around the house, and I started getting contractions, and I went into labor, and I was, bleeding a little bit, and we were just so excited. We, luckily my boyfriend was home because he was working so much at that time. I was like, oh my God, I think this is it. It's time. Let's go. We got our bag. My mother ran to the store because we didn't have like a hospital outfit for her, like a bring home, take home outfit. And we were just on our way to have a baby. And we went to the hospital. My mother went to the store. She was gonna meet us right there after we got settled in and everything. But we got to the hospital, and they put you in the room, and they're looking for her heartbeat. And they have me on the monitor, and they're doing a thing with the fetal Doppler, and they couldn't find her heartbeat. And at first I was like, yeah, move it there. I always know whenever they do that, her heartbeat's good right there. And then like my heartbeat was catching, and then like we were moving around, and I could just see this look on the nurse's face, and I'm having contractions, and I'm thinking, what are we doing? Like what's next? Like, so they brought in the doctor, and the doctor confirmed there was no heartbeat. And I went black. I literally blacked out. My Pat was on the phone with my mother. She hears me screaming in the background, and I'm like, what the hell? What are we doing next? Like, what do you mean? Like, let's get her out and try to save her. Like, I'm just thinking, like, there's no way. I was so naive to stillbirths. I was not educated about it. I thought once you pass 12 weeks that you're in the clear, if you don't have a miscarriage, you're having a baby. And it's like all of this stuff that I just had no idea. I had no idea what was possible. I thought stillbirths happen in horror movies. I never, ever, ever thought my daughter could die. And she was dead. So I then had to go through labor. And luckily, I was already there. I was having my contractions and everything. And I just went through the process like I was gonna have my baby, except I knew she wasn't gonna be alive. So I got an epidural. It didn't work. Got another epidural, and it was like I was just so out of it, and like in this daze that I don't think that I could even feel anything at this point. So then after being in the hospital for like 12 hours now, crying, upset, it was time to push, and I just didn't want to. I didn't want to let go. I knew that once I had to give birth to her, that I was never gonna have her again. And that was the only thing on my mind. I didn't want to get rid of her. I didn't know what was gonna happen next after I had her. Like, I didn't realize we could hold her. It was fucking weird. So, yeah, I had my baby. My baby girl was born on December 31st at 10:43 in the morning. It took quite a few hours of pushing, and we just had our regular care in the hospital. The nurses were very heartbroken and sympathetic, and that was like the beginning of something, just the start of the horrible nightmare that we never even knew could happen to somebody. So I remember seeing my daughter. She is so beautiful. 7 pounds, 12 ounces. She looked just like her father. And she was just gorgeous. She was so pretty and so perfect. And I was afraid of her. I was afraid of her at first. Even though she was already dead, I thought I was going to hurt her. I thought, like, she was mad at me. I felt like such a failure. I, like, knew at this time, only thing going through my head is that my body killed her. Like, how did this happen? She was in me when she died. How? What did my body do to her? What wasn't she getting? Like, there was just so many things I still beat myself up for. So yeah, we spent New Year's 2017 going into 2018 in the hospital with our dead daughter. So we left, and of course, you know, on my social media and everybody knew I was pregnant. I had, you know, updates, pregnancy photos, like all this stuff. And then I had to like make a post that I went into labor with my daughter and she wasn't alive. So that was just, that was so hard. Throughout this journey, I'm going to show you pictures. I have my little baby Patrick, who's my son, in the background, and I also have some photos of times where I was pregnant with Rayna. I won't spook you guys with any pictures of dead babies or anything like that. They are mine. That's my privacy. Those are my children. That's the respect to the dead. I am not knocking anybody who ever does show off their children that they had and after they were deceased. It's my personal preference where I won't do that. It's hard. It's very hard to look at. I still don't believe babies should die or anything like that. Children, no. So I got this. This is when we had our gender reveal. We found out she was a girl. This is Pat's family, his brothers. We were so happy. We were so in love. We were so, like, innocent here in a little baby bump. Me finding out she's a girl. I was screaming ecstatically. And this was actually the photo that I posted when I announced that I was pregnant. So these are good memories with her. I love this photo of us. So, now, moving on, that's what we tried to do. We just had this urge and this feeling of wanting to be parents so bad. We had everything ready. We had her nursery. We did the baby shower. We had everything good to go to have a baby, except no baby. And that was a big adjustment. That was hard. We went into therapy right away. Pat was with me, and we did a couples therapy with one of the best doctors here in the state of New Jersey. that was very helpful. He helped us a lot, and we did it together. And then I did my own personal counseling, and that was something, and somebody I worked with actually prior to giving birth, I was seeing someone, and this, she dumped me. She dumped me because after I lost Rayna, she had opened up to me and told me about her child loss, and she lost a baby. And it was a great heart-to-heart last session that we had, but she told me she wouldn't have been able to continue to take me as a client just because we would have just been two mushes crying there the whole time, and she wouldn't be helpful for me. So that was like the beginning of the world that I never knew of, that there are women out there that lose their babies, that go into labor and they find out that their babies are not alive, or go into a routine checkup and they find out that their baby's heart's not beating. Like, what? It's this 2017, 18, 19? That happens? Like, yeah, it fucking happens. So I don't feel like it's addressed, and I don't feel like people have a little education about it, and it's not anything that I feel needs to be shoved in people's faces because it hurts. But I think that we are all humans here, and we all go through death, and we lose people, and this is another reason why I wanted to start this talk and this sharing, is because we are all going through some kind of hurt, and we all have some kind of pain, and everybody's grief is unique, and regardless if it's a baby or if it's somebody, a mom, a dad, like a sibling, I hope that my feelings and me opening up helps somebody else, and helps somebody else know that they're not alone. And it's not even about just losing a baby, it's about losing someone that you love. So I made like a little outline about this and everything I wanted to do, and I just hope that people are open and listening to my story as well, because there's a lot of competitiveness out there. I feel like from the support groups that I've joined after I lost Rayna, there's women that are like, a miscarriage isn't the same thing as a stillbirth, and a stillbirth is nothing like losing a baby at 12 weeks or 11 weeks and this and that. And I can understand the argument, but really, all in all, we all lost a fucking child here. We all lost a dream. We all lost a baby. We all lost something that we've wanted. And even if not, it's just humans. We're humans. And I see that, and I feel like that is very harsh. And I also see, women going at each other with, stay-at-home moms versus working moms, or, a mom who, like, has had the luxury of having a great baby shower versus, like, moms that get hand-me-downs. There's so much competition and so much angry energy out there where everybody wants to go at each other. And that's not cool. That's not okay. We're all just here living this life. And I hope, a regular mom can hear my story out and relate to my feelings and all of the things I was having up until I went into labor with Rayna. Like, it was just all so normal. And then, so this is my story with Patrick, baby Patrick. He was conceived 6 months after we lost Rayna. So we were pregnant. We wanted him. We wanted to be parents. I wanted to be pregnant. Like, There was nothing in the world that I wanted more than to be a mother and to have a baby, and just to be, my baby fever was insane. It was strong for a long time. And it wasn't to replace Rayna, it was just to fill that void, that emptiness. And I wanted another girl, but he was a boy, and Patrick was ecstatic because he's getting his junior, and it was great. It was just beautiful to be able to differentiate the pregnancies too and their identities, because Rayna's 9 months of pregnancy is all I knew of her. And going through it again, it's like, okay, now I got a little boy, I got a little strong boy in me. Like, they were so different too. He was a fighter. He was great. And my connection with my son, it was just amazing. So his due date was March 4th, 2019. And my birthday's in February. And at this time, I was now 29. So all I wanted for my birthday was to be, my 30th birthday was to be a mommy. And if all went well, my induction date would have been on my birthday with my son. So we didn't get that far. So for the women out there who experience pregnancy after loss, it's hard. There is nothing harder in the world to go through a second pregnancy knowing you could lose your baby at any time for no reason. So I took extra care of myself. Mind, body, soul, everything is on point. I did not tell a single soul that I was pregnant for the longest time. There was no social media announcement. It was just all about him being calm, being collective, and getting him here on earth safe and sound. I'm gonna get a little upset. So I had great doctors. I switched my doctors. I had extra care. I had everything, every test under the sun. We were looking for anything. So now that year was also my first year of grieving Rayna, and it was hard to be pregnant with him and knowing that I was supposed to be doing all these things with Rayna though. And holidays came around and it was hard. We were just like, because it was hard when I was pregnant with Rayna, and we just wanted to get through that year anniversary of like losing Rayna, and like let it go and be able to breathe and know that we made it through the first Mother's Day of being a childless mother, the first round of the first summer, the first 4th of July, the first Halloween. All of this stuff is hard, especially knowing that you should have a little baby going through all these first. So we made it through Christmas. We made it through New Year's Eve. We had a beautiful little party for Rayna with my family. We baked a cake for her and we sung happy birthday and honored her. So it felt good. So now it's little baby Patrick time to focus in on him and focus in on the good that's coming. And I was nervous and I had anxiety like any other mother does after losing a baby, like how I lost Rayna. And I went to the hospital one night. I was upset. I got into a stupid fight with a family member, and I remember I coughed and I had an accident, peed my pants just to the point where it came out really quick. I was really nervous, especially since we don't know how we lost Rayna. I want to make sure my water didn't break because I was upset. And paranoia. Just flat out paranoia. So I drove myself to community and I told everybody was going. I was like, I told everybody what happened. Pat had work really early. I told him to stay home. I go, I just need it for like my mind and my peace. I need to make sure he's okay and I didn't just break my water. And I'll call you if I need you. So I went and I actually had a nurse who was my nurse that admitted me when I gave birth to Rayna. She's like, why do I know you? And this and that. And then we put it all together. So after that, I felt like I was in God's hands with her. She was on top of everything for me. I was like, let's just make sure he's alive. Let's make sure he's moving. Everything's good. Everything was good. I wasn't in labor. Everything was fine. But they were monitoring me. And with PJ's heart rate was steady and strong. I was at 33 weeks. This is in the middle of January. He was everything, his measurements, everything up to this point, everything was fine. He was a little bit bigger. He was a very big baby boy. I don't know if it had something to do with me being pregnant really soon after my loss, or if it's just because his daddy's a big boy, or he was a big little baby. His heart wasn't reacting or spiking. Like when a normal human being, when we work out and go run up the stairs, our heart rate goes up. They were putting things on my belly to kind of like trigger him, and his heart wasn't spiking. And his heart wasn't like going down either. It was just a really consistent, strong rate, which is something that they didn't understand. They didn't see before, and I didn't. And then now here I go, being a mom, beating myself up. What is my body doing? What is my body not giving him? What is going on? Why is this happening? And next morning, my mom shows up, Patrick shows up, everybody shows up. They're like, the one nurse, they all know my story there now. So the one nurse is like, oh, okay, so blah, blah, blah. She made sure I ate a little something, and she's like, okay, you're not gonna eat now. And then I see my doctor. My doctor shows up. I was in very good communication with my doctor the whole time. I'm joking around. Let's get him out now. Let's get him out now. Blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, I have this many C-sections scheduled today, and blah, 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 blah. Maybe I'll fit you in. Joking around like we're just, going back and forth. And then his heart, I don't know what it was. My doctor was on the phone with my, the maternal fetal, the specialist doctor, and he's like, they're in contact, they're sending all the information back and forth, and the specialist goes, get him out. We want him out. He's going to be better out than in. And now I'm like, oh my God, wait a minute. I'm really going to have a baby now? Is this like real? Like, I was joking around, but wait, what? Is it too soon? I'm 33 weeks, this and that. I'm like texting my best friends about what's going on. I'm like, oh my God, I think my son's going to be here. Like, we're going to have a baby. And the nurse, she's laughing with me. She's like, I told you I wasn't going to feed you, and you're going to be ready for surgery. With the amount of weeks of where I was in my pregnancy, they had to do a C-section. There was no way they could have induced me. It would have been too much stress on the baby. And after having like a natural delivery, having a C-section was a little bit rough for me to think about, but I didn't care. I just wanted him here safe and sound. And Pat's ecstatic. He's on the phone with his family. They warned us. They told us, if because what is going on with his heart, we might send him to this hospital where there's pediatric cardiologists. We're going to check it out. Worst case scenario, this is where he's going. This is what we're going to do. I'm like, okay. Make sure he's in the best care, best hands possible. They're like, but we might not even need that. And with his measurements, they were saying he was over 6 pounds. And with everything, I was like thinking, there are babies that are born way smaller than this. And why wouldn't he make it? So we're in the surgery room, and I'm breathing, and I'm all numbed up, and me and Pat are head to head, face to face, and I'm like, this is the best thing that happened to us. This is the best possible outcome. This is what's supposed to happen to us. And I'm just positive affirmation out my fucking ass, I'm saying. And he was born. He was born on January 10th at 4:21 p.m. And he was crying. And he was 5 pounds, 15 ounces. And I'll never forget the sound of his cry. The sound. It was just so beautiful. So, this picture here is actually them. They put him right to my face. Since I was on the surgery table, that's him looking at me. And I got to give him a kiss and kiss his face. And they're like, we're going to take him. So we have to take him now. There was nothing wrong. There wasn't anything urgent that he needed at the time. Everybody was excited. We had a successful C-section. We had a successful surgery. They did still take him to the other hospital, though, where the heart doctor was. And they were monitoring him for hours before they took him. And I'm recovering from surgery. Had my family around me, and we're just anxious. At this point, we want to know everything. We want to know every move that is being made. We want to make sure our son's going to be okay. We just wanted to know all the details of everything. If we had a choice, I just would have been by his side all these moments, but I couldn't. So right before they took him to the other hospital, they wheeled him out to me, and I got to say goodbye and talk to him, and he held onto my finger, and I just kept telling him to be strong and stay strong. He's gonna be okay. And he's gonna make it. And everything's gonna be okay. That was the last time I saw him alive. He promised me. They swore they take smaller and sicker babies. He was gonna be fine. So at this point, I told Pat, go be with our son. You follow them. I'm fine. Go. You need to be with our baby. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yes. He needs you. I know this is extremely hard for Pat. So, Pat was with him. Hours and hours go by. I'm in a room. I'm recovering. I was gonna recover and I was gonna recover and get like the feelings back in my legs, and they were gonna admit me so I could go there and be with him. And they were gonna like speed up the process and everything for me, just because, you know, I'm just give birth to my baby who's an hour away from me. And it's 4:00 in the morning, and Pat and I, like, I'm up all night, maybe got like 10 minutes of sleep. Pat's called me and he goes, they want to tell me that something's going wrong and it's not looking good. What is going wrong? What do you mean? They just wanted me to tell you. They wanted me to call you. So now I'm beeping for my nurses. Please call over there. Get me information. Tell me what's going on. I need to know. I need to know. I need to know. And he called me back. Not even 10 minutes later. Saying he didn't make it. He passed away at one of the best NICUs in the state. And I was an hour away. It sucks. So, I don't know how I'm going to edit this. I don't know how I'm going to make this work, but I didn't plan on thinking that this story was going to be this long. But here I am. We had a service for him. They took me in the ambulance and brought me right up to the hospital where he was, and I spent my 2.5-3 days with him, as long as I could stay. I had visitors come, and I had to tell people that I already had told that he was born, he was here, he made it, he's alive, that he died. But I already knew what to do. This time I wasn't scared of my baby. Baby Patrick did not leave my bedside my whole hospital stay. I didn't want to let him go. I knew what was coming after. I already knew what it was like to go home after labor, after carrying a baby with no baby. So it's now 11 months since 10 months since I had my son. And my daughter should be 2 this December. And my dogs are going at it. That's my story. And I've been doing a lot. I got on medicine right away. I chose not to take any sort of medicine after Rayna just because I knew I wanted to be pregnant, and I knew I could do it and be strong and make it through it with therapy and holistic care. So as soon as I left, I was on the phone with all my doctors. I'm like, we lost him. I don't even know how I made it. I don't know how I made it through any of that time. I don't remember that month. I really don't. I remember being so let down, but almost like since I've been through it before, that is like the only way for me. Well, I think throughout my videos, I'm going to continue to share my journey and share what I've been doing that's been helping me. Share what is the bottom of what we think happened to our babies. And a lot of people have a lot of questions. I still have a lot of questions. But we did get autopsies with the both of them. There is something that we found that is a common, I guess, factor in relation to how they both died. We don't have any definite answers yet because after hearing the news of what it could be, we have just been soaking it in. So, this is something I never ever thought I would ever go through at all in my life. I gave birth twice and don't have a baby. I want nothing more but to be a mother. And I lost both my babies. For all you guys out there that actually know me personally, I am a type of woman that there has not been one thing in life that I didn't want, that I didn't get. And I'm not even saying that in like a cocky way. I'm saying it in a way where if there was a dream or something I envisioned, I made it happen. I would always have very good luck. And my life was never ever perfect, but I've always made it through. So, not getting my babies has been a huge blow to the ego. Not even like my ego, but it's just the soul. It's just to want something so bad and be so close to having it. Just simply takes my breath away. So I'm going to end this, and I am going to make another video on Gacy, and that is the rare disease that my babies might have developed. And I also will continue to talk about my journey, my healing strategies, what I'm up to now, and everything else that life is. So, thank you. Thank you for listening, and thank you for letting me share my story with you. And I am so open to anything and everything. I would love to hear feedback. I would love to hear what you think. I would love to meet another mother who has similar story as mine. There are a lot of women that I've connected with that have lost a baby and gone on to have healthy living children. I feel like this is where I feel like such an oddball, is because I tried that and failed. And I don't have any kids. And I feel really alone in that aspect because I don't know if I'm going to be able to have kids. I mean, I can't even think about being pregnant again. I had my daughter and I had my son. No other baby could compare them. I had my two loves. And I would love to hear other people's stories about what they went through. And some other women, if they've went through loss, hearing their choices if they decided to not have a kid again or try again or have a baby again, because that's kind of where I'm at. And I'm open. So like I said, thank you, and I'll be posting more. So everyone out there, if you have your kids, hold them a little extra tight tonight. If you have your babies that are miracle babies, give them an extra kiss on their forehead from me tonight. I do believe miracles happen, but it just hasn't been in my cards. So tune in. Subscribe to me. I love it. I'm going to talk about so much more good stuff. It's not going to be super sad all the time. And I want you guys to grow with me. So, thank you.